Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk to you today about the Brackenfell High incident that happened in South Africa. And the EFF was just trying to cause trouble where there wasn't any trouble, and there were black and colored parents that came out in defense of Brackenfell High, and they sent their kids there and to that high school, and they claim that they have never experienced any racism at that high school. Well, basically, due to the COVID-19, the school wasn't going to have certain farewell parties, and also they weren't going to have their prom. So private parties ensured, but the people who hosted the private parties had certain COVID restrictions. And the black and the colored students were invited to these parties, but they chose not to go because they didn't agree with some of the COVID restrictions. But there wasn't any racism. Well, the EFF came when they were taking final exams. When Brackenfell was taking final exams, and they parked near the school, and they were chanting so loud they were disrupting the final exams. Well, the parents had had enough, and they went out there and confronted the EFF, and some of the students confronted the EFF as well. So all it was on the parents and the students' part was retaliation. The EFF was trying to cause trouble out of something that wasn't trouble, and one of the black parents came out and said what I just said, that a lot of the black and colored students opted out because of they didn't agree with the COVID-19 restrictions that were in place, like you had to wear a mask and certain other things, but it had nothing to do with racism, that they got the invitations to all the parties just like all the other students did. So basically that's what it transpired, and the EFF, like I said, was just trying to cause trouble where there really wasn't any trouble, and the EFF can say things like kill the boer, kill the farmer, and the South African Human Rights Commission doesn't do a darn thing about it, and the EFF needs to be held in contempt here, but it doesn't look like they're going to be held in contempt. The South African government seems to be going after the students here and their parents for what they deem excessive retaliation, when in my opinion, I've seen the footage. Now, that you could argue there may have been a little bit of excess retaliation, but the EFF showed up and were disrupting final exams where the students couldn't concentrate. So the parents came out and confronted the EFF, and the one Brackenfell student took an EFF member's beret and wouldn't give it back to him. But that was the gist of it. The SAPS, the South African Police Services, got in between the two groups. So this just shows you how abrasive the EFF is and how they don't have any concern for anybody but themselves. Second of all, they didn't have a they didn't have a permit to be there. In order to protest and march, you have to have a permit from the government, and the government did not issue any such permit. So the EFF was illegally protesting. So anyways, hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless, and bye-bye. Bye-bye.